My name is Lydia and I run a website called TrustedCoins.com. I'm a dealer in authentic ancient Greek, Roman, Byzantine, and biblical coins and artifacts. Every item you purchase from me comes with a lifetime guarantee of authenticity, a certificate of authenticity, complete with my signature. I've identified over 28,000 authentic ancient items, and I'm known all around the world as a numismatic and antique expert. This is a coin of Augustus, by the way, genuine, authentic, silver. It comes complete in a flip that preserves it for generations to come. A short, brief description of the big description that you have over here, professionally done many times, citing a major reference or collection, and on the back the historical reference of the item that you purchased. So even if you're brand new to the collecting field, you can get acquainted just by looking at the items, reading the histories. So today I'm going to be talking about medicine. Specifically Asclepius, the ancient Greek and Roman god of medicine. He usually was depicted holding a staff with a serpent entwined around it. Incidentally, his staff, you see over here, this is Asclepius. Asclepius, and he stands there. This is how he's actually pictured on coins. He stands there with a staff. You see this staff over here is entwined with a serpent. This is actually the real medical symbol. With a single staff with a serpent entwined around it. If you see a staff with two serpents looking at each other like serpents, that's actually a caduceus. That's of the ancient Greek Roman god Mercury, the equivalent Hermes. And he was the god of the underworld along with being a messenger god. So it's kind of interesting how modern medicine a lot of times uses the double snake instead of the single snake around the staff in how medicine is nowadays. So I want to tell you about the images of Asclepius on the coins of several, let's say, Greek cities. On Pergamon, the ancient Greek city of Pergamon used it, in Asia Minor and others. Roman emperors such as Severus Alexander, Elagabalus, Diadumenian, Caracalla, all use it on the coinage, but it's not just limited to that. If you search Asclepius in my store, there's going to be a lot of medical, with Asclepius, the way he was pictured in the ancient Greek statue that I showed you earlier. I have also a coin, a very unique type almost, of Asclepius seated there on a throne, and he has a bull come to him, and he's the ancient veterinarian. That's the imagery. That's the only imagery I've ever come across. So he actually healed animals apparently too, at least in the coinage. Asclepius is the god of medicine and healing in the ancient Greek religion. Asclepius represents the healing aspects of the medical arts. The rod of Asclepius, a snake-entwined staff, remains a symbol of medicine today, as I mentioned earlier. He was the son of Apollo and Coronis. His mother was killed for being unfaithful to Apollo and was laid out on a funeral pyre to be consumed, but the unborn child was rescued from her womb. In another legend, his mother died in labor and was laid out on the pyre to be consumed, but his father rescued the child, cutting him from her womb. From this he received the name Asclepius, to cut open. Apollo carried the baby to the centaur Chiron, who raised Asclepius and instructed him in the art of medicine. Asclepius was married to Epion, with whom he had 6 daughters: Hygeia, Medetrina, the serpent-bearer Panacea, Acesso, Iaso, and Elgeia, and 3 sons: Melchion, Podelyrios, and Telesphorus. He also sired a son Aratus with Aristodama. In the names of his daughters, each rather transparently reflect a certain subset of overall theme of good health. Zeus killed Asclepius with a thunderbolt because he raised Hippolytus from the dead and accepted gold for it. In Greek mythology, Hippolytus was a son of Theseus and either Antiope or Hippolyte. He was identified with the Roman forest god Virbius. The most common legend regarding Hippolytus states that he was killed after rejecting the advances of Phaedra, his stepmother and the second wife of Theseus. Spurned, Phaedra deceived Theseus, saying that his son had raped her. Theseus, furious, used one of the 3 wishes given to him by Poseidon to curse Hippolytus. Poseidon sent a sea monster, or alternatively Dionysus sent a wild bull to terrorize Hippolytus' horses, who dragged their rider to his death. Artemis asked Asclepius to resurrect the young man since. Other stories say that Asclepius was killed because after bringing people back from the dead, Hades thought that no more dead spirits would come to the underworld, so he asked his brother Zeus to remove him. This angered Apollo, who in turn murdered the Cyclops who had made the thunderbolts for Zeus. For this act, Zeus banned Apollo from the night sky and commanded Apollo to serve Metis, king of Thessaly, for a year. Once the year had passed, Zeus brought Apollo back to Mount Olympus and revived the Cyclops and made his thunderbolts. After Asclepius' death, Zeus placed his body among the stars as the constellation Ophiuchus, the serpent holder. Some sources also stated that Asclepius was later resurrected as a god by Zeus to prevent any further feuds with Apollo. The most famous temple of Asclepius was at Epidaurus in northern eastern Peloponnese. Another famous healing temple, or Asclepion, was located on the island of Kos, where Hippocrates, the legendary father of medicine, may have begun his career. In honor of Asclepius, a particular type of non-venomous snake was often used in healing rituals, and these snakes, the Asclepian snakes, crawled around freely on the floor in dormitories where the sick and injured slept. In his healing temples, Asclepia, ritual purification would be followed by offerings or sacrifices to the god, and the supplicant would spend the night in the holiest part of the sanctuary, the abaton. Any dreams or visions would be reported to a priest who would prescribe the appropriate therapy by a process of interpretation. Some healing temples also used sacred dogs to lick the wounds of sick petitioners. The original Hippocratic oath began with the invocation, "I swear by Apollo, the physician, and by Asclepius, and by Hygieia and Panacea, and by all the gods." The myth of Asclepius foreshadowed rather than served as a source for claims of Jesus' healing powers. That's rather interesting. So, buy authentic, ancient Greek and Roman coins with Asclepius on them on my website, trustedcoins.com. Thank you.